Welcome all to this session with the winners of the 2019 Malcolm Forbes Award from the Overseas Press Club for Best International Business Reporting. I'm Tim Ferguson, former editor of Forbes Asia, and I was the head judge for the category. It's my pleasure today to introduce and congratulate our two winners from the Wall Street Journal, Sean McLain and Nick Kostov. Sean is in Tokyo, where he does his reporting, and Nick is in Paris. Guys, congratulations. And I have to say that dealing with a hopefully helpful intermediary in New York is not unlike your day-to-day jobs with the Wall Street Journal, is it?
Yeah, it sounds familiar, especially the 1 o'clock in Tokyo part of it.
Well, I could see you're surviving with the help of medicinal aids there. Well, this award was for a series of articles in 2019 dealing with the intrigue, both corporate and personal, surrounding the downfall of one of the most celebrated business executives on the planet, Carlos Ghosn. I'm going to start this off by attempting to capsulize the background to this story. Ghosn, who was born in Brazil of French-Lebanese heritage, was by the 1990s a rising executive star in France at Michelin and later at Renault, where he was blessed, I guess, with the nickname Le Cost Killer for his attempts to rationalize the processes at very established, and in the case of Renault, once state-owned French enterprises. In the late 1990s, Ghosn was an integral part of an effort that Renault took to construct a financial and operational alliance with Nissan Motor of Japan. Nissan was larger, but foundering in the wake of the long lost decade of Japan. In the early 2000s, Ghosn seemed to be making great headway with the resuscitation of Nissan. He enjoyed, even in Japan, a rather heroic reputation, rarely for a foreigner or a gaijin to enjoy that sort of adulation in Japan. This continued, as far as most of us were aware, for more or less the next decade or so, so that by 2018, he was overseeing a sort of broad international automotive empire, which by then had incorporated the smaller Mitsubishi Motors as well. He made the international rounds of Davos and all the similar festivities, and was the subject of multiple flattering profiles in the business press. I'm sure I was involved in at least a few of them. Then on November 19th, 2018, Ghosn, returning by international flight to Japan, is subject to a surprise and sudden arrest, and very quickly thereafter is deposed as chairman of Nissan by that company's officials. This was the start of a 13-month confinement period for Ghosn, both in jail and in home custody under Japan's rather strict confinement rules, leading ultimately in December 2019 to his rather miraculous escape as he was spirited out of Japan in a box to seeming exile in Lebanon and his future, which is subject to uncertainty, shall we say. And that's where I want to begin today. We're going to flip the script a bit and just update matters before we get into the nitty-gritty of the great reporting of 2019. Nick, I think you were going to bring us up to date on what has become with Ghosn and his enablers.
Sure, yeah, I can bring us up to date. I mean, so Carlos Ghosn at the moment is in Lebanon. He's out of the reach of Japanese justice. He's a Lebanese citizen. Obviously, Lebanon does not extradite its own citizens. So he's I guess he's living as a free man. The issue for him is that there's an Interpol red notice, so he can't travel internationally. And that's something which we expect at some point he'll try to lift. But for now, that's what Carlos Ghosn's up to. Some of the people who helped him, for example, there's a father-son duo who are in a Massachusetts jail at the moment, who Japan are trying to extradite to Japan, and so that's working its way through the US kind of court and political system as we speak. Sean can maybe bring us up to date on Greg Kelly, who's on trial at the moment in Tokyo. Sean, do you want to speak about Kelly?
Yeah, sure. Greg Kelly, just in case you didn't know, was the man who was arrested alongside Carlos Ghosn on November 19th. He was headed what they call the CEO office, and he was charged alongside Ghosn with attempting to hide roughly $90 million in Carlos Ghosn's deferred compensation. And that trial has been ongoing for the past few months and will probably carry on until September next year. There's also the case of the Turkish pilots and flight attendants who were on the private jet that spirited Ghosn out of Japan and into Turkey and then on to Lebanon. So quite a few legal cases going on in the Carlos Ghosn case, none of which seem to involve Carlos Ghosn.
Suffice to say, the Japanese authorities were furious over that escape.
That's putting it mildly. They outrage, and yeah, they're pretty furious, and they're not going to give up.